A very good morning, children. Children, we will continue with the unit 4.3, Intellectual Rubbish. This is video 2, and we know the author of this new term, Intellectual Rubbish, is by Bertrand Russell. Now, what did we see so far? We saw the meaning of this title, Intellectual Rubbish, in the earlier video. We saw how people have opinions which may be based on our superstitious beliefs, okay? And how can we correct that? Merely by making observation. If you can make observation and find out whether it's right or wrong, okay, you can do that. Then we saw an example of Aristotle. What was his belief? That women had fewer teeth than men. Then we even took the example of, we spoke about the example of the hedgehogs that eats black beetles. Okay, now let's move on further. I hope you are open with the textbooks, page number 94. Many matters, however, are less easily brought to the test of experience. If, like most of mankind, you have passionate convictions on many such matters, there are ways in which you can make yourself aware of your own bias. Now, what is the author saying? Many matters are there which are easily brought to the test of experience. Okay, so if you have, there are matters which you may agree or disagree. You can always bring it to the test of experience. The person who has experience will be the person who's speaking the truth. Okay, so if, like most of mankind, you have passionate convictions. What is convictions? Belief. Okay, you have some strong beliefs on many such matters. There are ways in which you can make yourself aware of your own bias. Now, what is bias? Is your own, you have a favor on a particular, group or beliefs. Okay, so you can find it out, okay, for yourself, because having your own beliefs and all is not good, sticking on to that, no? So if an opinion contrary to your own makes you angry, that is a sign that you are subconsciously aware of having no good reason for thinking as you do. Now suppose, take for example, children, you have an opinion, you have a belief, and somebody else has some opinion which is different from yours. Contrary means opposite yours or different from yours. Okay, so what happens if, okay, you are the kind who has an opinion and somebody has a different opinion, and if you get angry, what happens? It's a sign that you are subconsciously aware of having no good reason for thinking as you do. That shows what you are believing in may not really be good enough, okay, or good. So if someone maintains, okay, or somebody says, somebody says or believes that 2 and 2 are 5. Now, 2 plus 2 we know is not 5, okay, it's 4. But if someone maintains that, okay, or believes that, or that Iceland is on the equator. Now, Iceland we're talking about, it's an ice-covered land, okay, Iceland. So if somebody believes that it is on the equator, naturally, when we're talking about a place near to the equator, how is that place? We've studied it in basic geography, no? So any place which is near to the equator is going to be very hot. It's not going to be ice covered, okay? But if somebody believes that 2 plus 2 is, 5, and Iceland is on the equator, you feel pity rather than anger, okay? Because what is the right thing. So you don't tend to get angry with that person unless you know so little of arithmetic or geography that his opinion shakes your own contrary conviction. Now, suppose you are not aware about 2 plus 2, okay, makes 4 of, the person believes it's 5, and you're not aware about Iceland. Then maybe, you will be shaken up. Then you will think whether that person is saying what he's saying is right or wrong. But otherwise, when you know what is right, you're not going to get angry. You're going to feel pity for that person. The most savage controversies are those about matters as to which there is no good evidence either way. So, whenever you find yourself getting angry about a difference of opinion, be on your guard. You will probably find on examination that your belief is going beyond what the evidence warrants. So here what the author is trying to say, the most savage controversies. Savage means we're talking about cruel, okay? A very cruel kind of controversy. Some people, you can look at this picture. The controversy, they're having a difference of opinion and it looks as if they're going to kill one another just to prove that what they're saying is right, isn't it? So the most savage controversies, okay, cruel kind of controversies are about those matters to which there is no good evidence. Sometimes there may not be any proof in what you are saying. So whenever you find yourself getting angry, suppose somebody is saying something different and you're getting angry, so be on your guard, be careful. Be on your guard means be careful. You will probably find on examination, meaning when they really find out the truth, okay, that your belief is going beyond what the evidence warrants. So when they find the evidence, the proof of it, okay, your belief must be going beyond. It may not even be right in that sense. Okay, that is what the author is saying. And what the evidence warrants. Now, warrants, warrant is an official written statement that gives somebody permission to do something. Okay, so many a times after examination, okay, we come to know that whatever we believed actually was not really true. A good way of ridding yourself of certain kinds of dogmatism is to become aware of opinions held in social circles different from your own. When I was young, I lived much outside my own country in France, Germany, Italy, and the United States. Now, here the author is saying, I got a good way of ridding yourself. A good way of ridding means making yourself free of certain kind of dogmatism. Now, what is dogmatism? This meaning is already given in your textbook. I put it there later on in your meanings. So, dogmatism is what? Insisting on the truth of one's opinion without evidence. Where you say, no, whatever I am saying is right. And you don't have even proof to say that. Okay? So, that is what dogmatism. When you are saying that whatever you are insisting, you're insisting that you are right when you may not be right. Okay? And you don't have even evidence for it. Okay, so how do you get rid of certain kinds of this opinion? What you should do is to become aware of opinions held in social circles different from yours. So it's better when you sit in social circles. This is called social circle. When you sit with others and you talk. So sit with people who are, who talk something different, who have different opinion. Everybody may not have your opinion, but it's nice to sit and listen to some people who have a different opinion. Okay, and now, this author is saying that he has lived in outside his own country. Okay, he's lived in France, Germany, Italy, and United States. So, when you travel, you meet people, you hear their opinion, it changes, your kind of outlook. So, I found this very profitable in diminishing the intensity of insular prejudice. Now, what he's saying, since this author travels and he listens to people, so this has become profitable, means it has been beneficial for him, it has been good for him. In what way? In diminishing the intensity of insular prejudice. Means in diminishing, making less what? His beliefs. Okay, making less, sometimes when you're talking about insular prejudice, you're talking about someone who is not willing to meet other people or, consider their new ideas. So this has become less. So when he meets people, what happens? He is able to, have a different kind of opinion, listen to them. Otherwise, you are the kind of insular prejudice means whatever you believe is true and you don't want to listen, you don't want to meet any people. That is what he's trying to say. So because of his travel, because of meeting people, sitting with people of different opinion, this has changed his thinking. So if you cannot travel, seek out people with whom you disagree. Okay, don't sit with people only who agree with you. Sit with those also who disagree. And read a newspaper belonging to a party that is not yours. So read a newspaper, he is saying, which belongs to a party, opposite party. Okay. And if the people and the newspaper seem mad, perverse and wicked, remind yourself that you seem so to them. So he's saying, see, many a times we think, children, that whatever we think is right and all, and the other party is wrong. But the other party may be thinking the same thing, no, that we are wrong. That is what he's trying to say. So that's what he's saying, that if the people and the newspaper, when you meet people, when you read newspaper, you feel that they are mad, they are not perverse. When you're talking about perverse is somebody who's totally against and wicked. So you remind yourself that you seem so to them. In this opinion, both parties may be right, but they cannot both be wrong. Always remember, when there is a difference of opinion, one is right and one is wrong. But they both cannot be wrong, isn't it? So this reflection should generate a certain caution. So you should be careful about these things. That is what the author is trying to say. Becoming aware of foreign customs, however, does not always have a beneficial effect. Now, we will be, some of us may be, knowing about foreign customs, different customs that people follow. Okay. Now, it's not always good, okay, to be aware of it. Now, in the 17th century, it is said when the Manchus, okay, conquered China, it was a custom among the Chinese for the women to have small feet, and among the Manchus for the men to wear pigtails. Now, instead of each dropping their own foolish custom, they each adopted the foolish custom of the other, and the Chinese continued to wear pigtails until they shook off the dominion of the Manchus in the Revolution of 1911. Now, here we are talking about in the 17th century when China was conquered by this the ruler Manchus, okay, and it was a custom of the Chinese. If you see Chinese women, they have very small feet. Why? Because right from childhood, their feet is bound, and then it cannot grow, because it's tied very tightly. And you see, this was a custom of the Chinese. Now the Manchus, what they had the custom, you can look at this. The men had pigtails. Okay, they had long hair like this, like a pigtail. Okay, that was what their custom was. So what did they do? They adopted each other's culture, though their custom was not really good. Okay, instead of dropping their own foolish custom, now this is a very foolish custom, but they each of them adopted the foolish custom of other, and the Chinese continued to wear pigtails. They took this custom from where? From the Manchus, and the Manchus took the Chinese custom of small feet for the women, and all this was shaken. Okay, it shook off after the dominion of the Manchus in the Revolution of 1911. So there was a revolution that took place in 1911, and all this custom was, it diminished. They did not follow it after that. So we do the lesson so far. We can look into some new meanings here. We've got bias is a strong feeling of favor towards or against one group of people. Contrary is opposite to or against. Savage is very cruel or violent. Convictions are beliefs. Warrants is an official written statement that gives somebody permission to do something. Dogmatism, insisting on the truth of one's opinion without evidence. And you have perverse, is showing a deliberate and obstinate desire. Obstinate, we are talking about a stubborn desire. You're unwilling to listen to others, okay? To behave in a way that is unreasonable or unacceptable, okay? So see that you write all these meanings in your English notebook. Read the chapter well, listen to the video once more, okay? And do the assignment. So thank you, children, for giving me a listening ear. God bless you.